You wake up before the alarm, not from rest, from the quiet, crushing weight of unpaid bills looming. You check your bank balance before your feet even touch the floor. The number is always smaller than you remember. You skip the coffee shop, not by choice, because $3 feels like $300 this morning. You buy the smallest size at the store. You don't realize yet that small choice costs you far more. You pay rent every single month on time, building someone else's equity while yours remains permanently at zero. You fill only half a tank of gas. A full tank feels reckless right now. This happens more than you admit. You apply for a loan. The interest rate returns high because the financial system has quietly labeled you a risk. You choose the generic brand because it costs $3 less, but it runs out faster and the math never works. You visit the payday lender just this once. That single decision starts a current quietly pulling you beneath the surface. You tell yourself this is temporary, but the months blur together and the arithmetic keeps working stubbornly against you. You are not lazy. You are not careless. You are trapped inside a system engineered to charge more for less. Every financial decision made under pressure costs more than the same decision made from a place of true security. The painful truth is simple. Being broke is expensive, and no one ever taught you the hidden math behind it. The poverty premium is not a myth. Studies confirm lower-income households pay up to 10% more for everyday basic necessities. Bulk buying reduces the price per unit dramatically, but it requires upfront capital that most financially stressed households simply do not have. Retailers understand this perfectly. Unit pricing data shows smaller packages consistently carry a 20 to 40% higher cost per unit. This is not accidental. Small quantity sales are deliberately engineered to be more profitable for the seller, never for the buyer. The same logic governs financial products. Risk-based pricing means lenders charge higher interest to those deemed least likely to repay debt. Credit scores are fundamentally a proxy for wealth. Fewer assets mean higher risk ratings and steeper borrowing costs imposed consistently. A wealthy borrower accesses capital at 4%. A struggling borrower pays 24%. Same product, vastly different price for money itself. This interest rate spread, the price of being perceived as risky, is a silent compounding force working powerfully against the poor. Without a savings buffer, any unexpected expense becomes a full crisis. A broken car, a medical bill, an appliance failure. The person with savings absorbs the shock. The person without savings turns to credit, paying compounding interest on the emergency itself. The interest compounds, the balance grows, the payment rises, the savings rate falls to zero. The debt cycle deepens relentlessly. Princeton researchers discovered financial scarcity consumes cognitive bandwidth equivalent to losing 13 IQ points, permanently impairing long-term strategic decisions. The system does not just cost money. It costs mental clarity, emotional bandwidth, and the capacity to plan strategically forward. Insurance follows the same principle. Those least able to afford premiums carry minimal coverage while bearing the maximum possible financial risk. When the uninsured face disaster, the out-of-pocket cost dwarfs what years of steady premium payments would have totaled in protection. Housing tells the same story. Renters pay consistently for shelter while building absolutely zero equity and zero lasting net worth. Over 30 years, a renter can pay $500,000 in rent, arriving at retirement with no property asset. A homeowner over the same period builds hundreds of thousands in equity, a compounding wealth engine fueled by monthly payments. Transportation follows this pattern identically. Those unable to afford reliable vehicles pay more in repairs, missed income, and daily rideshare dependency. Food deserts deepen the problem. Without grocery store access, residents pay corner store prices for lower quality nutritional options every single day. Banking becomes a luxury when savings run thin. Overdraft fees of $35 per incident strike hardest on the least resourced. The unbanked turn to check cashing services charging up to 4% per transaction. A recurring invisible tax on hard-earned income. Prepaid phone plans cost more annually than contract plans, which require the credit score most financially vulnerable people cannot access. Utility companies demand security deposits from those with no credit history. The wealthy pay nothing up front. The poor pay everywhere. All these mechanisms share one architecture. They extract maximum value from those who have the absolute least to offer back. Philosopher John Rawls defined justice as fairness. By every measure, this financial system fails the most vulnerable at every single touchpoint. Understanding this architecture is the first act of financial sovereignty. You cannot escape a trap you were never taught to see. The wealthy don't simply earn more. They inhabit a parallel economy where access is cheaper, faster, and structurally more efficient. Consider the flywheel. In engineering, a flywheel stores rotational energy and releases it smoothly. Wealth operates on this identical principle. The first revolution of the flywheel is hardest. It demands deliberate force applied consistently over time, with no visible reward yet. But once it spins, momentum builds. Each rotation feeds the next. The system begins sustaining itself entirely without constant manual effort. Building a financial buffer is that first revolution. Even $1,000 in reserve transforms your relationship with risk permanently. With a buffer, you stop paying emergency interest. You stop incurring late fees. You stop making decisions driven purely by fear. Eliminating 2 late fees and 1 payday loan annually saves over $600. Money previously extracted clean by the system. $600 invested at historical market averages over 20 years grows into something that begins to resemble genuine financial independence. Think of a business as a self-sustaining ecosystem. Every revenue stream is a river feeding one central reservoir of capital. The reservoir need not fill all at once. What matters is that inflow consistently exceeds outflow, even slightly over time. Credit optimization is not a trick. It is understanding how lenders price risk, then deliberately repositioning yourself as a lower-risk borrower. Paying bills on time, reducing utilization below 30%, diversifying credit types, these are signals the financial system automatically rewards. A credit score improvement from 580 to 720 can reduce mortgage costs by over $80,000 across a loan's full life. $80,000. That is a car, an education, or a down payment on your first investment property. Pure freedom. Bulk purchasing is capital deployment. Buying 3 months of household goods at once generates an immediate and guaranteed substantial financial return. A 30% bulk discount represents a 30% return on that capital. Immediate, guaranteed, and completely tax-free every single time. No investment vehicle offers that guaranteed certainty. Strategic consumption capital allocation is one of the most undervalued wealth-building strategies available today. Automation is another flywheel mechanism. Automatic transfers to savings remove the decision entirely, and decisions made under scarcity are costly. Behavioral economists confirm it. Humans are loss-averse. Automation makes transfers invisible, removing the psychological friction of perceived financial loss. Passive income streams are not reserved for the ultra-wealthy. Dividend stocks, REITs, and high-yield accounts generate returns on modest balances. The principle is not the amount, it is the direction. Money moving toward you changes the entire psychology of wealth building. A business owner who builds a system running without daily presence has purchased time, the only truly finite human resource. The paycheck-to-paycheck person sells 40 hours weekly for 40 years. The wealthy build one system that earns perpetually during sleep. This is not a fantasy. It is a design principle. Businesses, portfolios, and properties are all time arbitrage machines built deliberately. Every dollar saved from the poverty premium, every fee avoided, every bulk discount captured is a brick in that machine. Insurance purchased from financial security is not an expense. It is a risk transfer mechanism protecting the wealth you are building. The financially sophisticated insure catastrophe, self-insure small risks, and allocate premiums deliberately. A calculated deployment of protective capital. Community and network represent another invisible economic advantage. Knowledge, deals, and opportunities compound powerfully within financially literate social networks over time. The most expensive education anyone receives is delivered by financial mistakes made without context, guidance, or systemic understanding of money's rules. Every system that charges the poor more for the same goods can be studied, understood, gamed, and ultimately escaped forever. Now you understand the math, and understanding changes everything. You can no longer unsee what was always hidden in plain sight. You are not a victim of bad luck. You have been navigating a landscape tilted against you without a map until now. The map exists. The principles are knowable. The flywheel can be started with whatever you have, wherever you are, beginning today. You don't need wealth to think like someone building it. The mindset always precedes the money, without exception, without fail. Begin with the buffer. 1,000 in reserves is armor. It transforms how the entire world prices your every decision. Wealth, as Morgan Housel wrote, is what you don't see, the car not bought, the discipline compounding silently in the background. It is the quiet morning without dread, the bill paid before crisis arrives. It is margin, beautiful, hard-earned financial margin. You are building a life where money serves you, not the other way around, where your time is completely yours again. Every generation that breaks this cycle creates a new starting point for the next. Your financial discipline is not personal, it is ancestral. The hidden costs fade when knowledge becomes visible. The traps become transparent. The premium disappears when you are no longer trapped. You were never the problem. The math was always the problem. Now knowing it, the math can finally begin working for you. Financial freedom is not yachts or mansions. It is the profound calm of never again paying the devastating price of fear. Own your time. Build your buffer. Start the flywheel. Let momentum carry what effort alone could never sustain. Beat the system.